We want to go right to our top story tonight in Raleigh County, where the murder trial for Natalie Cochran has been delayed further. She's been charged with the death of her husband, Michael Cochran. She pled guilty at her arraignment in January. She was previously charged, but those charges were dropped when prosecuting attorney Ben Hatfield struck a deal to allow him to re-examine the body of the victim. That examination yielded new details, and she was charged for a second time. She's currently serving an 11-year federal prison sentence after pleading guilty to a Ponzi scheme. And according to testimony today, the two cases are linked. Cochran was supposed to go to trial on August 12th. However, there were issues in the case over the exchange of evidence between the state and the defense. The defense says that it just received a packet of federal files from prosecution this week. However, the packet was mailed last June, according to the postmark. Nobody is certain why it took that long. Further, the defense says it had issues getting a hold of the electronics being held in evidence by law enforcement. Because of this, the defense says it has not had enough time to assess all of the evidence.
I don't necessarily have to be satisfied with that either. So we are trying to dig in and see how much of that exculpatory evidence and impeaching evidence is contained in the record that is right now given to us, or at least I believe that's the rest of the evidence.
Prosecuting attorney Hatfield disagreed, saying that the case is ready to be presented and that the defense has had all the time it needed during the hearing. Afterward, he told us that there is no new important evidence on the electronic devices and that discovery is complete.
Both investigating officers that have looked in those devices, I think they're doing professionally a diligent job trying to find something that exonerates their client. It's not there. If I had something that pointed to the fact that she didn't do this, I wouldn't be prosecuting her. That being said, I'll gladly have every device that they want reran, and I'll provide them the reports from those electronic devices.
Ultimately, the judge agreed that the defense needed the additional time, granting the request for continuance. Here's a snippet of that decision.
I'm a little bit upset by the fact that the defense received this federal file only yesterday. I can't understand why it was sent out in June and received on July the 22nd or thereabouts, but that appears to be the circumstance that we are facing.
Another matter settled in court today was where Cochran will be held in the lead up to the trial. The judge agreed to the state's request that she be held in Southern Regional Jail, and that caused Cochran and her team some visible frustration. We'll show that to you now. You are seeing footage of her attorneys discussing her confinement with the judge. They told the judge she believed that she would be penalized for not being in a federal facility. Judge Kirkpatrick saying that he did not believe that would be the case. The judge also agreed to arrange transport for her to doctor's appointments in Morgantown. She's now being held in Southern Regional Jail to make it easier to transport her back and forth to the courthouse. When she was being held in FCI Hazleton, it took a 6-hour round trip and both a male and female officer to accompany her. Now that she's in Southern Regional Jail, transport is much easier.
I would argue that if Natalie had been in Southern Regional Jail this entire time, we probably could have got this case tried by now. It's just so much easier to have her at Southern Regional Jail because now all we need is this transport order from the judge, and she can be in the courthouse in 30 minutes from Airport Road. Additionally, Mr. Victor and Mr. Selden can go out to see her on Airport Road anytime they want. Without making an appointment like you have to do in the federal system, without driving up to Hazleton. This having her here is better for the case, in honesty, and probably not most comfortable for her. It's probably not as nice as the confines of the federal prisons.
And once again, the trial is scheduled to begin on October 28th, with that pre-trial hearing set for October 8th. We will be in the courtroom every step of the way, and we'll keep you updated as we learn more information.